Welcome to Let's Talk About It. Broadcasting live from North Nashville, Tennessee. North Nashville spans from Metro Center down to the border of Bicentennial Mall, including the neighborhoods of Bordeaux, Buena Vista, Parkwood Estates, Germantown, Haynes Manor, Jefferson Street, Fisk Park, Cumberland Gardens, Oak Valley, Enchanted Hill, and many others. It's perhaps best known for the 3 universities housed here, including Tennessee State University, Fisk University, and Meharry Medical College. North Nashville is also home to the Tennessee Titans practice facility. The Tennessee Titans will begin construction on an expansion project at St. Thomas Sports Park, which will almost double its current footprint in Nashville's Metro Center neighborhood. The plan includes 60,000 square feet in additions, including a new building situated along one of the practice fields, and major renovation of spaces within the existing 75,000 square foot building.
Now live from North Nashville, Dr. William Head. Let's talk about it.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. I've been out for a couple of weeks. Mr. or Mrs. COVID showed up and tried to choke me out, but I won. I'm still here, still standing. Welcome to today's show, and the weather has changed to very chilly. Not chilly, very cold. It hasn't gotten over 40, 42, 43 degrees all day. Let me handle this immediately. I'd like to express our sincere sympathies to the family and friends of the 3 young men who were murdered on the University of Virginia campus over the weekend, and the 4 students out in Moscow, Idaho, who lost their lives to some coward who shot them and escaped. Hopefully they will find whoever that is and get that straightened out. A special expression of my personal sympathies to the family and friends of my good friend, Eric Moore. Eric was the managing partner of Onadan Sports, which was the foremost website in the country that featured HBCU sports. A good friend of mine, when I was head football coach at Fayetteville State University in North Carolina, he put together a football show. And I didn't think that show was being seen by many people until I made my way on the recruiting trail during the course of the following winter. And a youngster said, who is that guy? And the other kid said, don't you know him? That's William Head. He's football coach at Fayetteville State. That's when I realized how powerful media really is. In God we trust. And you ladies, you did it. You turned the midterm election on its ear. I mean, absolutely on its ear. You proved that abortion and taking your rights are far more important than what we have to pay for a gallon of gas, which we can't control. Inflation will be corrected over time. The president is working his behind off to get oil prices down, but you did it. Ladies, you got out and made sure that all these zealots did not end up winning elections. God bless you. In God we trust. I prayed that that would not happen. The red wave never got to shore. The diligence of women in this country in addressing things that they know are not fair is amazing. Uh, Cried a tear of joy knowing that you had gotten out and made the difference that only you can make. You are 55% of the voting populace. And all you have to do is band together and you can control elections in your different states in this country. I was afraid that you were going to be led down the primrose lane with the Trump Republicans, and you resisted greatly, and it's wonderful to see the result. Since I was last on this podium, daylight saving times bit the dust. Can you imagine that next spring we don't have to spring forward? We're just going to stay with Standard Time, Eastern Standard Time, Central Standard Time. So now you won't have to figure out how to reload when you don't have anything to reload with. Most of the U.S. is falling back for the last time. My. As we look at the elections, and we see that the red wave never got to shore, those people who have adopted 45 as their savior, I want to ask you, when your time on this side is over, where you going? My Savior says he's got a place for you through eternity. What, are you going to visit Dishonest Donnie at Mar-a-Lago at $550 a night? And when you die, it's just going to throw you out. Your soul will have nowhere to rest. Oh, what's up with that? You make a golden idol to him. Ooh. Sounds like something I read in the Bible. Where when Moses went up on the mountain to get the laws, the people went crazy and they made a golden idol and started worshiping it. Sounds real current, doesn't it? Please, pass me with stupidity. This month is Native American Heritage Month, and we don't hear much about it. The people who lost the most on this North American continent get the least attention. When Europeans came to this country in 1492, please, when Columbus ran aground because he didn't know where the heck he was, there were 20 million Native Americans in this country. 20 million. Europeans killed them with diseases, influenza, venereal diseases, for which they had no resistance. And here it is, all these years later, and the red man has not recovered. There are only about 2 million Native Americans in this country. If you want to talk about Holocaust, I would say that's pretty close. That's pretty close to a Holocaust. Matter of fact, I would say it is beyond a Holocaust. Former football coach at Auburn, Tommy Tuberville, is the epitome of rottenness. as he indicated during the course of the midterm elections for Mr. Trump, that those people who are looking for reparations are less than. Now, those people who he indicated looking for reparations, of course, refers to African Americans. And guess what? Mr. Tuberville made his wealth and fame with large black young men who played a game that made him millions. So now he wants to call them those folks who are looking for reparations. I've asked all former Auburn athletes to send coach some greetings of some kind. I won't say what kind, but obviously I'm not talking about Christmas. Make sure you let him know that you really appreciate being called those people, first of all, and then those people who are looking for reparations, which are overdue. So we'll leave that right there. It's a tough time, ladies and gentlemen. The hatred in this country is coming out so plainly that it's borders on insane. Asians are being attacked. Of course, black folks have been attacked for forever in this country. The Jewish people are being attacked. I'm sorry, and I'm probably going to hear from this, but how do you attack a people who are the ancestors of a man that you worship by the name of Jesus? How is it you find that you need to give them a lot of grief? The recent, to use a euphemism used by assistant coach of the Washington football team, the recent dust up with Kyrie Irving recommending a documentary. I'm still trying to get my mind wrapped around why it became such a damnable offense that he recommended watching a documentary. If you watch the documentary, you don't take it literally, you watch it for knowledge and information. So now you're saying don't read certain books, don't teach history, don't tell anybody to watch anything that you disagree with. Sounds real bad. Is that where we're going? You're going to tell me that a black man can't watch a movie that is associated with black people? Now, I'm not saying whether the movie is right or wrong, but it's information. My mother told me once upon a time, said read and watch everything is good, bad, and indifferent. I guess if I go to a Klan meeting, then I'm going to be ostracized for being there. I'll probably have to fight my way in and out, but I'm willing to listen to everything they have to say, if for no other reason to know where they stand on issues. So being a human being, watching, reading, living in certain situations are always learning situations. Now, Mr. Irving's aims and objectives in recommending that that documentary, I have no idea what they were and won't even try to uh, project what I might think it is. I'm just saying it's information. Is it now where we want to burn books and films? Well, let's move forward. Today I have with me one of my newest and bestest buddies, if you will, Miss Kendra Phipps Crow. Hi, Kendra. How are you doing today? Kendra, tell us a little something about yourself. It sounds like you have a full dance card. Uh, Kendra, you mentioned your child who was challenged because of physical difficulties, and uh, I think I've already expressed my sympathies for your loss as he passed away. What, a couple of months ago? Okay. So in your book, you talk a lot about the challenges that were presented to you when your son became, shall we say, ill, incapacitated. Tell us a little bit about that journey from uh, being a happy mommy to one who is constantly concerned and challenged. In your book, you make reference to um, challenges that other people have overcome in their lives, and you reference several different individuals, historic individuals who found themselves uh, with less than what they would like to have to exploit their talents. Give us a little view of what you've written in the book about others with challenges. one of the things that I have firsthand knowledge of is the challenge of a mother taking care of a special needs youngster. It is awesome to see, and I'll make another personal reference. My sister-in-law was, oh man, a super mom, uh, making sure that her son was taken care of the best that you could ever have. In your time with your son, uh, how challenging was it for you over the 29 years of his life that you had to take care of it? Uh, One of the uh, things that I found interesting was that you, as a person, for a while, had a very low estimation of you. Uh, and talk to us about how you overcame uh, your 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 thinking of yourself as less than, while people were telling you were less than, and taking care of Adrian. I mean, that had to be a load. Mhm. Yeah, and at that point of eviction and moving, you had an illustration of to pain and doubt, I think, that you pushed out of your life. At that point, you said that uh, forgiving oneself was a central cog to you overcoming your self doubt. Talk to us about forgiving you and forgiving others. The process of you forgiving you had to have been uh, fairly agonizing as you were uh, also trying to forgive family members, former friends, and significant others in your life. Uh, Give us a little perspective on all that forgiving that you had to do so that you could get past where you were. Yes. Not being clean on a regular basis, no fresh sheets, all the amenities are dropped. Yeah, you mentioned in that same vein the tendency to uh, be involved in self-defeating behaviors, mixing the same ingredients and expecting a different result, which we all know is a certainly a recipe for defeat and failure. How do you get yourself out of those self-defeating behaviors, or how did you? Yeah, right before we started the show, we talked about uh, leaning into your pain and facing it and naming it just what it is, and not uh, running from it with drugs or alcohol, because after you've drunk yourself into a drunken stupor, when you wake up, it's still there. Give us a perspective on leaning into your pain. In one of your chapters, this title, "Loving Yourself Through Your Pain," you just told us about leaning into your pain. Tell us about finding the young lady that you were when you had doubts about who you were and whose you were, and then finding yourself getting through the pain because and trying to love yourself or develop a love for yourself. Tell us about that process. There's a line in the book that I found interesting, and I quote: "The difference is the optimist can often create peace in any circumstance, whereas the pessimist tends to find conflict even where there isn't any."
Hmm.
My connotation as I read it was, don't fool with negative people. Uh, Go with your dream. Tell me your um, your meaning to that line. The obvious question as you give that answer is that the bridge that you crossed from your earlier years after your son was born and then had the unfortunate situation of becoming ill, you crossed a large bridge from being a young lady who had a lot of doubt about herself, her surroundings, the people around her, all of those things, to someone who is now optimistic. How does that work for you? Uh, and then a little further into the book, you say your greatest struggles become your greatest miracle. Having come through those struggles, as a friend of mine would say, beyond through. You have come through and come out the other side, and now you look back and you say, all of these struggles that I had have all added to who I am. Yeah, I've got a good friend whose phrase is, "Ain't God good?" Uh, yes. Uh, very, very. At this point, you are a young lady who has fought uh, through a number of challenges, and probably in all that I've read, and it's amazing that your challenge that started early in the book comes back as don't allow the opinions of others to be the opinion that you have of yourself. Talk to me about that. Hmm. I, I hope you're right. They you said something just a moment ago that I really thought was significant. But uh, when you wrote this book, you were on that journey, and your son was still with you. Uh, my first contact with you, I saw your picture on somebody's Facebook page after my friend, Mr. Robert Moxley, told me about the presentation that you had made somewhere. And I subsequently went back to Kendra Phipps. And at that point, your son had passed. The anguish and angst and challenges that that you went through, uh, my the mad scientist just handed me something to tell me what to do that I already planned to do. So don't excuse me for being interrupted. But anyway, uh, you were again you were in the midst of taking care of your baby when you wrote the book. He was no longer a baby, of course, but he was your baby. Uh, and now that you look back on that struggle, you look back on those days when you were pressed to the utmost. What are your feelings about the journey? Well, you just mentioned my next question. When you gave it to a higher power and allowed yourself to be freed of that pressure while your son was still with you, the level of relief that that gave you, talk about that. The the not the last chapter, but the chapter that I found to be uh, very enlightening is one has to plan how they're going to attack the rest of their lives, and how you're going to meet the challenges that you already have, and uh, maintain a level of assurance that whatever challenge comes, you will be able to respond. You even have a list of things that you need to do in the planning process. Talk to us about the planning process. Yes. Um, as a football coach and higher education administrator, uh, the line was failing to plan was planning to fail. And if you are in a situation where you need to remove yourself from it and it takes time, you need to have a plan of how you're going to get it done. Lastly, let's talk about what you do now. Direct response marketing. Give the the audience a little idea of what direct response marketing is. No, we won't. We won't let him in. Ladies and gentlemen, Cedric told me a minute ago in his instructions to tell you what the book title was. There it is. Uh, that's Miss Phipps' book, and she's holding up a copy too. But uh, she so graciously sent me a copy, and it has an autograph, her autograph in it, and I am proud to have it. The title is The Seven Secrets to Overcome Any Obstacle. And the big word, the watchword is endurance. The race is not given to the swift, but to those who persevere. Kendra, if you had something to leave our audience with today, uh, what would it be? Well, we thank you so much for responding to our request, and we'll do the Oprah and recommend your book to everybody that's listening. Uh, Go get it, read it, and tell others about it. Uh, Thank you very much, Kendra. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful interview. Uh, Ladies and gentlemen, it is about time for us to call it a day. My alma mater last week had its homecoming. I was unable to attend because COVID would not leave me alone. Uh, they seem to have had a very nice event from what I could see driving through the campus. I was on the tail end of my visit with the COVID brothers or sisters, and I drove through and it looked really festive. It was a cold, wet day that day, and I was really surprised at the number of people that were out. I am still miffed about the firing of our former president. I think the Board of Trustees is untrustworthy as it relates to having done the deed. And the funny thing is that I was contacted by a reporter with the Nashville Tennessean who was doing an investigative article on the firing of our president, Dr. Van Newkirk. And she asked me several questions, told me she had talked to another alumna, and that she was in the process of putting that article together. To date, have not seen the article, nor has the university made any announcement as to why they fired this man. And the Tennessean completely shut down Miss Exum, who was writing the article. If you want to get it straight, give the Tennessean a call. Ask Miss Exum. No, don't ask for her. Ask for the editor and ask him why he shut down the article. As always, at the end of the day, we close with a poem by the Reverend Dr. Dale P. Andrews, a gifted orator, a immensely knowledgeable theologian, and just a great guy. Just a great guy. I have more questions than answers, more problems than solutions. From these, I freely share. I will close, though, with something that Reverend Joe, and Reverend Joe, don't be mad at me. Her name is Joanne, and I'm not, can't remember her last name. That's a shame. But she spoke and said, do not lose your way. Do not lose your head, because things that go on don't make any sense. Don't lose your faith. Don't lose your faith. My faith in the American public went up 1,000% with this midterm election. You saved democracy. God bless and keep. You've been watching Let's Talk About It. I am your host, William Head.